No issues, Vish. Look, try to look. I know you already know little bit of programming, so look, if you have any query, you can ask. No issues. Especially take care of your health. It's important. So, good morning, everyone. Today we'll cover up the object-oriented programming's basics, basically, and we'll start object-oriented programming from today onwards. So, what is object-oriented programming? So, it's a programming style that uses the real-world examples to create programs, right? uh, that promotes modular approach of programming and reusability of the code. And there are six basic concepts that object oriented programming has. One is encapsulation, abstraction, polymorphism, inheritance, class, and object. These are the six basic principles of object oriented programming. This question will come into your exams also. Right. So, what are the advantage of object-oriented programming? So, advantage of object-oriented programming is security, reusability, effective communication, developing complex software, easily upgraded, easy partition of work, maintenance, and efficiency. So, initially, when object-oriented programming was not there, then people used to create programs that are not very, reusable, not easily partition created. So it was kind of mess. There was no proper structure to create a program. So slowly gradually that requirement was there. There was a lot of model that was tested in those times. But yeah, object oriented programming become very famous at the time of C++ also. So Java is the only language that follows object oriented programming 100%. C++ can't follow it 100%, and not even .NET follows it. But yeah, Java is the only language that known as the pure OOPS language. So now we will discuss initially the two basic principles of object-oriented programming: class and object. So first, what is class? What is object? So first, class is just a blueprint of object, right? And object is the instance of a class or a physical example of a class. So how we define a class? So class is a blueprint or a template that defines the structure and behavior of an object, right? So what are the behavior of a, just like we are deciding, okay, there is a class named car, right? So what is the properties and method a class define, right? The similar properties. How you define what is a car? Can anyone wants to answer? Yeah, how you define what is a car?
Sir, with their properties and motions about that.
Yeah, so what are their properties?
Colors, models, or
Right,
fuel type.
right. So, these are the more advanced properties, but if we'll go into the basic property, a car must have four tires, right? We don't call a car who has two tire or three tire or maybe 10 tire, right? So we call a car because they have four tires, right? So any vehicle that has 8 to 10 tire, we call that a truck. A vehicle that has two tire, we call it a bike or scooter, or three tire with auto rickshaw. But car has four tire, right? Basic gates, engine, brakes, and accelerator. These are the basic property that every car has, right? So on the basis of those properties, whatever we declare in real life, These are the objects like Ford car, Toyota car. These are the objects of car class, and these are the real example. So if I try to explain you with one more example that's so easy to us, whatever apartment we see, like doing a programming was like creating a project, a big project. So any one of you wants to create a housing society, or maybe a housing area that you need to develop. So there are 1000 houses you need to create, same houses. How you do it? What is the initial work that we need to do if we want to create 1000 houses with the similar things, or similar same houses? There should not be any differences. So how to create 1000 houses with no differences? Can anyone? Okay. So if we are try to do it, the initial days, if we'll discuss the initial days, people used to do it without planning. So normally they have faced a lot of issues, like people come and go, people come and go, and everyone can't repeat it. If a house is singular, they'll create something different into the next house. Maybe 1 feet of difference, or maybe 10 feet of difference, or basic designing also. So what we did, we created the blueprints. Right. So we decided everything on paper first. Then we will tell each and every, what to say, constructor worker or people who are working on the houses, कि, okay, this is the blueprint. You just need to copy paste it. Exact sizes, exact size of the wall, exact, what to say, size of rooms, halls, or maybe staircase. They should all be similar. So the blueprint of those houses are known as a class. So class is the blueprint of the objects, right? And objects are the real world example. The houses that are built through those, uh, blueprint, those are the object of those houses. Now, why we called a class a blueprint? You If someone is asking you, right, कि, okay, give me a house, you can't give them the blueprint, कि, okay, take this blueprint or start living into it. They can't. Why? Because that's a blueprint, it's just an idea, it's not the real world example. That idea don't have a physical space. So when we give it a physical space and create it, then they can live it, right? In a similar fashion, when you create a class, it's just a class, it's just a structure, right? But when you create an object, it provides it with physical memory. Now you can use its properties, now you can use its functions. So again, class serves as a blueprint for creating individual instances known as object that share simple. First, share the similar properties and behavior defined by the class. In simpler term, a class describes the attribute, data, and methods. So class has the variables and methods means functions. Again, object. An object is an instance of class. It represents a specific entity or concept that confirms the structure and behavior defined by the class. When you create an object, it occupies memory. Simple. A class is a shared blueprint. Like if there's a class called student, when you will make program, you will take every inspiration from the real world. The object oriented programming helps you a lot to, whatever programming you are doing, 99.99% examples are from the real world. So there is a class called student. So student has the basic properties like name, age, color, gender. There are behavior, functions. What they function? They eat, they drink, they run, right? And objects are, there are three objects. One is John, whose age is 12. There is in Sophia, age is 10. Lily, that is age is 11. Now, there are three objects, different. Are they similar, exactly similar? No. They are little bit different. They, have their own age, they have their own name, so they have their own properties, right? And little bit different behavior also, but they share the basic structure. Like same matlab, if you are calling a human, what is the definition of a human? Like if you are making a class called human, right? Real life example, object oriented programming, how you define a human ki, okay, that is a human or that is a normal animal? Can anyone want to share ki how you define a human in, programming world? Anyone, who is not busy into, traveling or going to college, if you're sitting at home, try to be a little bit more interactive, so that I can also understand ki what is going on in your thoughts. So human, how we define a human? Human has two legs, two hands, one face. And what is the structure of our face also, right? If there is someone who came with the four legs, we can't call it human. Okay, whether it is a dog or it is a cat, right? Now there are two ways how we create class and how we create objects. So how we define a class? Class is a predefined syntax. Now you can choose a class name. We used to declare class every day, right? So class name is defined by you, it's user defined name. Then class has two options, one is variables and one is functions, right? And both are optional. It's not compulsory you need to write both. Now when you created a class, class has zero value without the object, or without their, because till the time you are not giving it physical memory, it has no use. You are not able to use lot of properties of that class. Now how to create an object? First, class name, whatever we declared, the same name is class name. Object name, it's again user defined. We can define, okay, what should be the name of the object. Then new and class name. Class name should be the similar, and then round bracket closed. That's how we define the object also, declare the object. Now there are basic functions. So Java class variables, we know how to declare variables, int a, int b, int c, etc. Take care. So what are the functions? In functions you can what to say, we used main function of a class as a public static void main. Same way we can declare user defined functions who can do R programming. So a method is a block of code that performs a specific task or action. It defines within a class, right? So एक function के in a function there are four basic things. First, method signature. So whatever this is public int max, there is no requirement to use public right now, because you can learn it while inheritance part. So like int max, this whole part is known as the method signature. Return type is int void char float double. It helps you to return the value at whenever is called. So initially we will use void today only. We will discuss it tomorrow कि okay, what kind of return type we can use. Then parameters are the things that we are used in round bracket, like int x, int y, z. We can use multiple parameters in a function, so it comes between the round bracket part. Now the method body, whatever in between the curly braces is the method body. So whenever we call it together. Now, what function helps with code reusability, code maintainability, readability, understanding, testing, and debugging? So now, if I am making a calculator, I can use four people. I can give one people to make an addition program, one to subtraction, one to multiplication, 1 to divide, then I can use four methods to collaborate those things, so that these things can help you. Let's understand this with the example. Tomorrow we will understand the total four type of functions, etc. Till now we will do the programming of the same thing. So now, as we used to do public class demo class 1, uh, public static void main. This is also a class and this is also a function, but these are the main is the predefined function from where compiler or execution starts specifically. So what we do, we create a class demo 10, right? Same, you can put any name, but yeah, if you want to do it, try to do practice with the meaningful name also, as Ankit said on Saturday. Demo 10. Now what we need to do, we can declare two variable int a and b over here, and we create void is means it's no return type, it's not going to return anything, and blank parameters means it's not going to receive anything, right? So we can use to print something, out dot println a plus b, and what we do, we define the a 100 and b is equal to 200, so it should print 300. Now how to use a class? So we created a class called demo 10. So first we'll create the object of that class, demo 10 d1 is equal to new demo 10. The same as we discussed. First we will use the same class name, and this is our object name. It's a class name and it's an object name. D1 is object that we created for future. A new is the predefined syntax that helps class to this helps this function to give the physical memory. Without new, it's hard to give the physical memory. Then this is thus again same class name and round brackets. It will be a constructor that will explain in future. But yeah, this is the basic syntax how we declare an object and give it a physical memory. You can declare it in two lines also. First you will declare it like this, then d1 is equal to new demo 1. You can do it like this also. But yeah, right now we'll do the same way. So d1 dot print, not main over here. Print. Now you'll save it demo 10 dot java. Now if we'll go over here, just understand it's in one Java class, right? Or whenever we used to execute previous classes, we used to get only one class file. But now there are two classes over here. So whenever we'll compile it, you will get two classes over there. Why there is two classes? So Java C demo 10 dot Java. So there is an error called public class demo class 1. Okay. Oh, so why it's not? Because we have saved the class with demo 10, but the public class is demo class 1, right? So it should be saved as the demo class 1, not as demo 10. So what we do over here, I will save it again with the public class name. So demo class 1 dot java. Always save the main class with the main class or a public class, and you can't make two public classes in a single file. So now you'll compile it Java demo class 1. No, 300, we got the output of 300. What is the execution of this program? Again, always executions will start from the main method, right? So main method came over here. We created the object of the demo 10 called d1. When we call the function called d1, whenever we do this, this function will be called means executed. This execution will jump from this point to this point. Now it will go inside this function. There is in two variable that we already declared over here. It will provide them the value 100 and 200, then print it, right? So now if you want to do the same exercise again and again, we just need to use reuse the same code, print 5 times. Again, if you'll go over there, you'll compile it, then you'll execute it. Now it's same time. So that's how we use functions to create reusability. If now anything I want to change, I need to change it over here. It will reflect in all 5 times, right? You don't need to copy paste a single code again and again and again. Okay. So this helps you to create reusable code. This helps you to create a clear cut bifurcation. कि, okay, I can tell one person to create a specific class for me, one person to a specific class, 3 4 classes. Then I'll create the main class and I'll create the object of those 4 classes, and then I can access their functions, their properties also, and I can reuse the code without again copy pasting again and again the same thing. So that's all about class, objects, and basic function. We will understand the 4 types of functions. What are the types of the function on the basis of their return type and their parameters tomorrow. So till now, anyone has any query, they can ask कि, okay, how we are doing it and why we are doing it. If you have any queries, you can ask.